Hi guys, I totally put it. I'm Amit Parpara. I lead the scraping team in Tavily. And this is my clicker. Okay. So today I'm going to talk about what I call the browser. Basically, how you render JavaScript without using a browser. Okay, so first of all, why we got here. So I understand that probably everybody knows that scraping a website using browsers, a lot of memory, a lot of time. And when you're scraping millions, not just a couple pages, scraping millions in a minute, you can't be really using that when you just need a paragraph of text because you're basically using graphics. And I understood that when I did my own research, and I understood that we need a lighter approach. Hydration is bad, you know, React, Vue, everything. They hydrate your browser, and that's how you get the content. So if we can use just hydration and just optimize for extraction of content without running what we don't need, basically get a lighter approach. And so I would dealt with SPAs, I guess everybody, and who doesn't know single page applications, basically React uses them and makes it so that they are rendering our stuff. And basically what SPAs do, they have a clock of timers, they have networks, they have a DOM, you know, that you can mutate in order to get the content, and you have cookies. That's basically it. All the other stuff are graphics, it's CSS, layout, everything there. I don't need them, I need just the context, just the content. And that's why when you look at SPA, what React and Vue actually do is not a lot. And that's why we want to imitate that. And so I built a stack that this approach actually makes it easier to get the content. And first of all, it's a simple curl. I talked to someone before, and I just told him it's like a curl that renders JavaScript. And that's basically it. It's a simple curl. You get the cookies, the compression, everything. On the other side, you have the parser, which is the whatever creates the DOM for you. And you need a connection between them, which is the DOM bindings. That's what mutates your DOM. You have the JavaScript engine, the V8 isolation that we use. Just one per page. It's very isolated. There's no cold starts. And this one is what runs your JavaScript. You have the web API shims that these are the actual APIs that you run. And the readiness controller. When is a page done? Obviously, everybody got to a place where it says like the page is done or is not, and it could take 4 hours, so you need to understand when is it done. And I think this is the most hard part. Everything else is just technological. Today with Cloud Code, it's even easier. So for implementation, I put it into 4 buckets. The first one is to implement. These are APIs that you have to implement. These are the load-bearing APIs, and they call the framework calls them constantly. These are what actually gives us the content, and this is why we need to implement them. This is pretty straightforward. We have the stab and fire. These are APIs that the frameworks call them, but they just wait for them once. So whatever the framework gets from that value, we can just fake it and get whatever we want from that value. You can look up these APIs and you understand that each value that you put, you get less or more content. But this is basically it. So you fake it once and you go. You have the stop silent, which is the code, the server code. They check them for existence, but they don't check the data integrity because it's more of like fingerprinting and stuff like that for the server, so you don't really need that. You just return zeros and you move on. Okay, stuff for Canvas or whatever you need, because I don't need the graphics. I just need the content. And the last one is to throw. So probably people done SERPing in a while, and I think a couple of months ago, Google stopped the whole idea of using user agents from a while back, right? The user agents that didn't render JavaScript, but these user agents are basically our real browsers that back in the day, they didn't have WebGL, they didn't have audios or user media. So whatever we say to the in this approach is basically saying, I don't need this, I don't have this, I just throw an error. So it doesn't alert anything. I don't need to spoof WebGL if I don't need it. That's what I'm saying to the server. And this is, I think, the hardest part about understanding when is a page done. So I done my own research on understanding this, and it's kind of a formula I put in. But a page doesn't give you "I'm done," and there's JavaScript that runs in the background all the time. But you do have 3 stuff that you can look at, which is, first of all, DOM content loaded is just a fire you get from the DOM when it stops mutating. You have network, which, as I said, you run JavaScript. So if you have in-flight requests, you can actually understand that if you don't have for 200, 500 milliseconds, the network is done. And also for mutations, if you don't change the DOM for 200 milliseconds, it's probably done. So if you take all of them together, you can actually take a page and say that is done. But sometimes it won't happen, so you put on a timeout. And the thing is that, it's an anecdote that I understood that even if I put a timeout and I don't finish rendering the page is not to throw, right? Because I did render some DOM, I did render some content. I could have this content without actually finishing scraping the web page. And I think that's one of the biggest ones, because for me it was, okay, I can get web pages when they try to block me and they put on JavaScript in the background, but I can get the web page also if I say I'm done myself. And this approach has limitations. So you all talked about stealth and everything. This is not for this. These limitations are probably basic, it's clear. If you want to scrape Google Maps, if you want to scrape Figma, this is not for you. These are for more content pages, more for text pages. And this is understandable. You understand the boundaries, you understand the constraints on this kind of method. But if you need just the text, that's what you can get under a second. And something that I measured in my research is that it's like 5 times even more faster than Chrome. You don't need to load the page, you don't need to load the browser, everything. It's just fast. It's a lot less memory. And which is the most important one, it's P50 is 1 second. It's less than 1 second. So I can get a full content of a JavaScript rendered page in about half a second. And that's kind of crazy. When I did it, it was amazing for me. And to understand, we talked about limitations. So what this is basically fetching public content efficiently. It's lightweight, it's super fast, and it's stopping when a site says to stop. A lot of times the site says to stop, and when you're stopping like that, you can get more content that they don't throw out. It's not bypassing anti-bots, it's not, you can't fingerprint evading. It's because I need to get most of the web. This is my method that I chose. And I think it was super important to understand that right now we can't really use browsers all the time. Now, I don't know if you remember, but we used to use PHP or WordPress for stuff. Now we use Cloud Code, right? And Cloud Code knows React, he knows Vue. He also knows PHP, but he wants to use the best practices. So basically, the entire web is getting JavaScript rendered all the time. And this is the shift that all the web pages go to. So we need to understand that we can't scrape for more than a second if we want to get to millions of them. And to finish this, I would say take 3 things home with you. Just don't render what you need. I thought this, instead of doing like disable GPU on Chromium, it still loads the library. So build bottom up, build whatever you need instead of disabling what you don't need. For me, sub-second, it's not a goal. Latency is the most important one. And when you try to scrape the whole web, honesty is cheaper than stealth. And this is what I understood, that you might get content from places that don't block you, and it's okay, because sometimes that's better. That's it. Thank you.